Hey guys, welcome back. Digital Gate Studios. We're back at it again. I got Jesse with me.
What do you have for us this time?
Guys, I've been promising this deck for so long. I just couldn't quite get it right. BT11 was such a fun format. I was all over the place, but I finally got the red burbs built.
In BT12?
Yep. So, yeah, in BT12. So, Phoenixmon is here.
Yep.
Red Birds is really fun. It can be very strong, can do tons of fun things.
You surprised me with this deck.
It surprises me a lot, actually, too. And it just gets even stronger in EX4. So, stay tuned to the update. But let's dive into the list. Starting with eggs. Where am I?
Good stretch.
Right there. All right, 4 Gurimon. So, guys, I really wanted to play Tribal, and I really wanted to play the Yokomon. But after testing, the Yokomon is nice. The On Deletion, draw 1 is good. When you have 6K or more, draw 1 with the Gurimon is really nice because early game, you kind of need your pieces before the Tamers are set up.
Makes sense.
And this really helps you get there. But I am going to play one of Yokomon, not just because it's Tribal, even though it's a plant, not a bird, but it makes sense for the Beomon line. But it is still pretty good inheritable. So if you like the Yokomon more, definitely keep playing
Still
that.
draws you cards.
But I like the Gurimon. All right. One of the most exciting cards that we got out of BT11, a red Beomon.
Oh,
I love
okay.
this search.
Yeah.
Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 red Digimon card with vaccine. So now all of a sudden we're getting into specific, like traits here.
Much more general than the other stuff.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Agumon, Greymon, Rise Greymon, Geo Gray, those are all vaccines. So there's a lot of red vaccines that you can grab with this particular card. And then it also grabs 1 red Tamer, and then you send the rest to the bottom of the deck. So this does really help grab your Tamers. We do play a lot of Tamers in this deck. I think I play more Tamers in this than red hybrids do right now, which is crazy to think about. It does have a good inheritable. On Deletion, if you have a red Tamer in play, gain 1 memory. I kind of try not to build my stacks with this Beomon. I leave it for my search when I need it, or I try to hard play it early on. This is the one that I like to build in my stacks when I can. It is the EX1 Beomon. EX1 Beomon, when attacking, once per turn, when this Digimon attacks a player, draw 1. Remember when this came out and all of a sudden all the red decks started playing this as a generic level 3 because it was just drawing them a bunch of cards?
It was a long time ago. But
So,
I remember,
now it's great in bird tribal. It's great in just red decks in general. Being able to draw cards is really nice. This is a really fun addition to the deck. This is a BT2 card, BT2 Beomon that we got in the ST11 box topper scenario.
Oh, yeah.
On Deletion, as long as it's your turn, gain 1 memory. So it's really nice to help you accelerate memory because those of you who don't know what the red burbs do, they basically get to play themselves for free, different DP thresholds, and I'll go ahead and start explaining that a little bit later in the video as I get more cards laid out. So if it's your turn, gain 1 memory, swing with rush, and hopefully it gets deleted pretty quick, gains a memory.
Good stuff.
I think that is going to be the Beomon that I swap come EX4 with the new red Beomon. Not 100% sure quite yet, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
Is that it for rookies?
That is it for rookies.
12 is a low number for you.
12 is a low number for me, but I feel like I actually do pretty good with 12 in this deck. I probably could figure out a way to play a 13th, but 12 works.
Gotcha.
If I were to play, great question. If I were to play a 13th, it would probably just be like the starter deck 1 Beomon, just a 2-drop.
Not the promo?
The promo one's okay, but the 2-drop,
it's gold.
It's 3. It is. There is a gold. There's an event pack.
There is, yeah.
Of the starter deck 1. So let's dive into our first Bird Dramon.
Bird Dramon.
It is a blocker, which is crazy to think that there's 4 of blockers as a level 4 in a red deck these days. You almost don't see that anymore.
Never.
It is a great card. It's nice if you just have to hard play it. 5K is kind of a low number, but it does help with a lot of our DP thresholds, so that does help for the deck. It does have a great inheritable. On Deletion, you may play 1 red Tamer with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its cost.
That's really good.
Really strong inheritable. I could see this being used in almost anything red that's not Greymons, right, or Jessmon, because they have very specific tribes, but being able to just get some Tamers set up is really nice. I'm a big fan of it for sure. And the blocker is really nice too. Let's talk about another card. We were talking about another BT2 card, BT2 Birdramon. I didn't even play this card once in BT2. I didn't play this card until very recently.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did. But let's talk about it. It is, first of all, it is a 3000 DP. So that's important. Why is that important? Well, when you talk about the Phoenixmon's effect, the main boss of the deck, the Phoenixmon, when you activate its ability, you get to play a 3000 DP bird, beast, avian, as long as it's not sea animal and some other things. We don't need to get into specifics. We don't have all the time in the world for that. But it's 3K that it plays.
You can play that one.
Yeah. You can play that one. You do get to add 2,000 for every red tamer you have on the board. That does eventually make that so that 5K can be played with that. But that's 3K. These are all 3Ks. These can all be played. What's nice about this one is that when attacking, when he attacks a player, you get 4,000 for the turn.
So it's a 7K.
So it becomes
a
so you played it with the 3K threshold, right? But it becomes a 7K. So it's really nice. It's also really great for the Gurimon. Right, it really helps when you have Gurimon, Beomon, Birdramon as a stack early on in the game, where you're drawing 2 cards because you're swinging with a 7K and most likely living because it's 7K. Yeah. So I was at a 4 of, and I wouldn't mind playing it as a 4 of again, but just for ratios and room, etc., keep it as a 3 of. We're talking about a BT1 card here. This is another card I never even played in any deck ever. On play, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1. It's a 4,000, so it is above that 3K threshold, so you do have to have at least one tamer to play it with the Phoenixmon's effect.
You always have at least one.
You always have at least one. And definitely, guys, there's ways that we get up to content 11K pretty consistently. It's pretty nice with all the tamers we play. But what's really nice about this is you're swinging with that Phoenixmon. All of a sudden, that gets played by an ability. You check an extra security check. So I know it's something that you and I have been talking about. We're a little bit iffy on the rules, but I feel I'm pretty confident. So if anyone, all the rules experts, the judges, let us know how this works. Let's say the interaction is I'm swinging with a Pheonixmon. A security card is gone from the opponent's deck. I trigger its on deletion effect. Play a Birdramon. I'm pretty sure I would check another check. Let us know in the comments, but that's how I'm interpreting it.
I think so.
But it is only a 2 of. It is really nice, even if that is the ruling. You know, yes, it could be a 4 of, but we do play enough cards in this deck where I don't need to focus on just getting its security attack +1.
Yeah.
This does pair really well when you play multiple Phoenixmons due to other abilities that you have or whatever. But
you'll split 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah. So definitely, guys, we're getting some new pieces next set. Level 4s, we're getting the Aquilamon for this deck, which it does fit, but it's not a vaccine, so I'm hesitant to put it in. But the promo Saberdramon, that's that red, purple, raid, rush, retaliation all at once, that's definitely something that I'm going to put in. So that come out, that will get reduced. But let's dive into our next level 4. This is the last level 4 in the deck, Agunimon.
Oh, back up to 2.
I've been really liking 1, but I just found with so many tamers and the fact that he's not a vaccine, so he doesn't get searched in this deck, that I do kind of want to have 2. So if you guys are just fans of having 1 hybrid in your deck for game, play 1. I'm kind of playing 2 right now because it's not the end of the world for me. I haven't desired, another one of these or whatever. Honorable mentions for level 4. If you want to figure out how to save Birdramons in hand to play with your ability of the Phoenixmon later, you could totally play starter deck 1, security attack +1 Greymon because it is a vaccine. It's just not playable with the Phoenixmon effect. So let's move into level 5. Garudamon.
Ooh.
So, guys, this is very similar to all the BT11 decks. BT11 was just a great set for all of these tribes to get great support and fun pieces where you're going to play 4 of. So you play 4 of the Beomon, 4 of the Birdramon, 4 of the Gordramon.
Right.
Spoiler alert, for the Phoenixmon as well from BT11. But this Garudamon is really nice. It's a blocker as well. It is in that 7K threshold. So all you need is 2 tamers. 1 to put at 5, second one to put at 7 for the Phoenixmon effects. You'll be able to hard play that. And it has the exact same inheritable as the Birdramon to be able to play red tamers for free. Speaking of playing tamers for free, let's talk about another vaccine card.
Oh, I love that you put that in there.
Greymon. This is the card that I feel like really got me to start liking the deck. Early game, I try to set up the Rise Gray. So if you guys have been playing in this format for a little bit, BT11 especially, right, BT12 as well, if you're having to pay memory to play the tamers,
you're behind.
You're almost behind, right?
Yeah.
So being able to, yes, there are times, especially in this deck, playing as many tamers as I do, where you still are going to pay the memory to play tamers. But having the ability to play Tamers for free, whether it's through the Inheritable Virgimon, Garudamon, or the Digiburst of the Rise Gray, really takes the deck to the next level, makes it move so much quicker, and just gets you all your pieces and everything set up to where you don't feel like you're wasting a turn setting up.
You guys haven't checked out his Yellow War Gray list? Really puts that to use.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely. So I've been a big fan of this card since BT4. I've been a big fan of this card in general. And it has a pretty good inheritable. If you have a Tamer in play, do minus 2K on a body. So
I used it in early machine.
Definitely does do a lot of work. All right, boss time. Pheonixmon.
Oh, that card is terrifying.
This card is insane. So let's read this together, shall we? Because there's some.
I've read it 5 times just tonight.
Okay, so your turn. Once per turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, you may activate one of this Digimon's on deletion effects. So the way the stack works is you could very well have that on deletion effect, that on deletion effect, that on deletion effect, that on deletion effect, and you can choose, and the on deletion effect of itself. You can choose which on deletion effect, only one, you trigger when that card is removed from the security. So you swing, doesn't matter what the security is, it gets removed, you activate the on deletion. However, you then could have the potential to get popped in security by an inheritable or a kill spell, a higher
body,
DP, and then you would then activate all of the other on deletion effects of this card. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of this card. The fact that only Digivolves for 3, thank goodness. If this Digivolve for 4, this deck would be unplayable. On deletion as well, you may play one red Digimon card with avian, bird, beast, animal, or sovereign other than sea animal in one of its traits and 3,000. Guys, let me know in the comments. I'm like 99.999% sure there's not a single sea animal in red. Could be wrong. I've said worse things here on the channel. But it's only 3,000 DP that it plays, but then you add 2,000 for each red Tamer you have in play. So what's really nice is you can trigger this ability, and if you have 1 Tamer to 5, 2 Tamers to 7, 3 to 9, 4 to 11, you can play another Pheonixmon.
With Rush.
If you have the Tamer, and ideally if it's security attack +1, that first check happens, you activate its ability. The second Phoenix comes out, then you activate that ability if you have security attack +1, which we have ways to do with our red tie in the deck, right? So it just creates this really insane loop that can just go for birds.
Well, my favorite part about that is it also gets around the Pheonixmon because it's not technically when attacking, it's when a security card is removed from your opponent's stack.
Yeah, and this is an on deletion effect. Yeah. So the only when attacking would be the Biomon, the Gurimon, or the Rise Greymon, right? So you still have a little bit for sure, but it's not like it's impossible to get around. So I love this card. I love on deletion effects. You guys know me. You know I'm a big purple fan as well. So purple red birds, I get both EX4 is going to be insane with the Ravemon and the updated support for this. Then we get that Promo Saberdramon. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Where I struggled in the deck was finding out the perfect partner in crime for this deck. So I didn't necessarily want to do the cop-out and just pick another Pheonixmon, but there's a lot of reasons why I picked this particular Pheonixmon.
Oh, but the other one Digivolves for 2, and it has that awesome memorial
art. Does, but guess what its DP is?
Low.
12K. It's actually higher than this, but that makes it so I would need one more Tamer to be able to play it with that ability.
Yeah, 5 is a lot different than 4 as far as Tamers go.
Yeah, exactly. So, this deck, I feel like I get to 4 Tamers pretty consistently to where I can hit that. About 3 is probably my average, though.
I got you.
But 11K. So it was between this, and it was between basically, there was a lot of those Memorial Pack cards that we gotten with like the Memorial Phoenix, the Memorial War Gray, a lot of those things because they are red vaccine. But ultimately, I decided I wanted to be able to play this body.
Makes sense.
On another honorable mention, you could play the Zakalmon, one of the 4 sovereigns. It's a red Phoenix if you like birds as well. From BT8, it is a 13K, so you would still need the 5 Tamers that you would need for a 12K, but it doesn't have an on play.
Yeah.
What I like about this is that it's security attack +1, so it's super aggressive, helps support the rest of the strategy of the deck, and when attacking, draw 2. So it's really nice if you just want to rush and draw 2 cards. I've been a big fan of it in this deck so far. Last Digimon card in the deck. Blitz Omni. Blitz for game. I would like to figure out how to play a second one. There's just the room is so tight in this deck because it really does want to have a lot of Tamers. Yeah. Be able to do a lot of different things in the deck. But Blitz for game.
I feel you.
Let's dive into some Tamer, shall we? We're playing 4 of this brand new Tamer, Akiho Rindo. I'm not going to pretend like I know how to pronounce this name. Come on. Let's read it together.
The tribal one for the deck.
The tribal one for the deck. That's not Sora, because Sora, unfortunately, is not that great of a Tamer card. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 red Digimon card with vaccine in its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom. Every Digimon on this field, besides Agunimon and Omnimon, meets these conditions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Agunimon's not a vaccine.
The variable, right?
It's variable, and Omnimon is a vaccine, but it's not red.
Yeah.
So as soon as they give us a red level 7 that can be searched with this, that's what's gonna go in the deck. But it's great because it also has another ability. Your turn, when you play another Digimon with Avian Bird Beast, the same that are on the Phoenix,
yeah,
by an effect. So you can't just hard play it. You have to play it by the effect, generally of this Phoenixmon. You can suspend this Tamer to give it Rush.
Makes sense.
So it's insane. So all of a sudden now you can start swinging with Rush in the deck. This deck is like it really does feel a combination of red, purple colors because you have on deletions, you have the Rush with bodies coming out of nowhere, but it's just good red stuff as well. So it's the best of both worlds. I did up this Tamer. This was a 2 of in my initial testing. I decided to try to do it as a 3 of because
so good.
This deck really just gets to cheat out Tamers. It gets to cheat out Tamers, the Rise Gray with the Birdramon, the Garudamon. It just to the point where it just makes me feel stupid not playing this as a 3 of.
It's coming back.
I definitely like the argument for a 2 of. I had it as a 2 of for a long time, but I just decided to do it as a 3 of.
You want to see it
because you want to see it. It gives you security attack +1, and you really need to be at 3 memory. It's 3 to Evo into these Phoenix, and generally what you have to do is you have to pay the memory and then swing in that turn. You kind of need to be at that 3, so that memory setter is just so important. But it's really nice as long as you didn't Digiburst, you'll have the 4 sources. Phoenixmon will be multiple checks to be able to kind of get a nice little loop going where, if you do have 4 Tamers, you swing the first check, plays another Phoenixmon. The second check, because you have security attack +1, triggers the second Phoenix to play another one, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just a fun little combo there. Big fan of it in this deck. It's been a while since I've played 3 Red Tides. This has literally taken me all the way back to BT1. And even then, I think I only played 2. All right, we're playing another tie in the deck, but this time, half yellow Tamer.
Yep.
Still counts as a red Tamer for all of our abilities here, and the Rise Gray can Digiburst to play red or yellow. It doesn't really matter. But Ty and Kari, what's really nice is you get that aggression, you get those security checks going, you get all the damage that you're doing, and now all of a sudden you're, extra memory. Just to put you into that threshold to really a Goonie for game. Hard play a Birdramon for 4 if you really have to give 1 extra security check to something.
It's a good combo, too, to keep your 7K Birdramon safe.
And it's funny because you almost think this would counteract the deck because it gives the security Digimon -2K for its when attacking. So that Phoenixmon doesn't die, right? Which it has all the on-deletion effects anyways. But it's almost more threatening with this deck to have Phoenixmon live and have your opponent forced to delete it.
Well, and they get to use the when Digivol, or the one you get to use the when or on-deletion anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. All right, guys, 4 cards left in the deck. We're just going to go straight into kill spells. 4 Gaia Force because Gaia Force is making a huge comeback because it does a lot of work.
You mean 2?
Sorry, 2 Gaia Force, 2 Crimson Blaze. That's 4 options total. Great for the wide boards, great for the big stack. What more can I say? I absolutely love these option cards. I think all of my red decks are just going to be 46-card decks with this option setup from now on.
Quartzmon hate, Bloomlord hate.
Exactly. It just does so much work. So, guys, this is Red Birds. Stay tuned to the channel. We're going to definitely have some updates with EX4. We're definitely going to have some updates when we get that promo Saberdramon. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching.
All right, we'll see you next time.